You're listening to Until They Sleep. Please note, this programming may not be appropriate for younger listeners. The question today is, buried or cremated? Listen in as we discuss an unfortunate situation that occurred with a cherished family member's burial site and our decisions and explanations as to why we would do one or the other. Thanks for listening. Welcome back to Until They Sleep. I am Chantel, joined by my husband, Daniel.
Hello, everyone.
And thank you for joining us. I have a story to go along with something that happened recently.
Oh, you're just going to dive into it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, welcome back, everyone. Like always, nice to be here. And, so, you want to jump into it. So, sometimes you're driving and you're having conversations with your loved one and family and things come up and it makes you think and you go off the rails and you kind of forget about the subject. And so in our family, we always make jokes about like, we know what we're going to do once one of us, our time comes to an end and what we want to happen and how we want our festivities of our loved ones to say goodbye to us is going to be, because in the last couple of recent years, we've lost a lot of family members. I lost my brother a few years ago. I lost my stepmom. My wife lost both her grandmothers and within
And my grandfather.
Yeah, within 30, 60 days apart, so it was like a crazy time. Been hearing a lot, looking at social media, and I see people that I've encountered or met that are passing away now. They were a few years older than me, like in high school, friends of my step family, cousins and stuff like that, their time has come. And out of that, I had a family gathering not that long ago. And in the process of this family coming in from out of town, my sister took them to see my mother's grave. And to the surprise of everyone, they had stolen the Marvel cover, not comic book, okay, the cover of
Her slab, her grave slab.
Yeah, her grave slab. So she's buried in TJ, and so it's very different, right? I mean, it's a barbed wire fence,
If that.
that, and there's no security. And next to it, or right across from it, it's a nice,
gated cemetery.
gated break-in, fence, tall, like protected cemetery with security and stuff like that. While my mom's doesn't have that. I've never denied it. I don't come from a big rich family, and I don't, we weren't fancy. At least my mother and I weren't.
And she passed away in the 80s.
And she passed away in the mid-80s, obviously. And so, it was just my sister and myself, and I was a little kid, and my sister she started her family, so she didn't have the funds, and my dad paid for the stuff, and it's a very nice slab and cross and everything.
It was
was with 2 flower pots, and it was beautiful, and it was actually way nicer than most of them around what she had. For years. So we're talking about for years. I slept on this thing. I had picnics there.
High school years, yeah.
I've been there a lot of times, and I took my kids there, and we sat there. Like I said, we had picnics. Our oldest boy and my daughter and our oldest daughter. So the younger ones haven't. We can't say they haven't been there that much, especially our girls. But family always goes on her birthday, on Mother's Day, and Christmas. There's family that travel into town and they go see it. So to our surprise, not that long ago, I mean, my sister was just there for Mother's Day. So here we are a few months later, and
the slab's gone.
They took 1 flower pot, and the other one had been stolen previously, or it was damaged. Actually, it broke. We replaced it with kind of like a cement one, just for the time being, and kind of painted it white so that it wouldn't be that off with the other one. So they left that one, obviously, and they took the nice Marvel one with the slab. They couldn't take the cross, but now there's a hole there.
A giant hole where you can, looks like from the pictures, it looks like you could fit almost 2 coffins in there, but you're saying it should only be 1.
Yeah, 1 more coffin. Yeah.
So it's It was very sad when you showed me the picture because I wasn't at this family get together because we had commitments. And so you went with family and they gave you that picture.
Yeah, half our clan went. I took thing one and thing two with me, and they love going to TJ. And
Well, thing two especially.
Yeah.
She just likes to play loteria with real money.
right. Yeah. And my wife, the youngest and the oldest, of course, stayed behind for the event. Also, a great, awesome event that we had. We were there for most of it, actually. I were almost there, almost till the end, until our team was eliminated and I took off. But since we were the host, our school was a host. Yeah, my wife was always a volunteer, so she was there to the end. And my son became a volunteer after his team was eliminated.
Yeah.
So bottom line, they gave me the bad news, and a little shocking, a little sad. They shared a picture with me. Sorry. And I was angry. I was frustrated. I don't see what the point is of robbing a grave. We're not way back, grave robbers.
I mean, you're thinking of grave robbing in the sense of like where people would like dig out people.
Oh, no.
And then
It's
also
just
the
a
ones that would
play.
just steal like jewelry and valuables that were buried with
Yeah,
people.
that's what grave robbery was. But like
What
to
this is,
me,
like, they're-
it's a grave, and they robbed the
they
grave. Like,
stole the top slab.
but it's still a grave.
But it's because it's marble.
Yeah, and so
So
when
it's
you were saying that,
valuable.
yeah, Marvel, and so I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's somebody's kitchen
Tabletop.
counter.
I know
or
we were like, what the heck did they steal? 'Cause
Tabletop.
It was a perfect rectangular slab.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it
Somebody's
wasn't.
bar.
Yeah, it could be somebody's bar, somebody's wall, somebody's tabletop, somebody's counter. Who knows? But somebody, several people, because it's a huge, heavy slab of marble. So it took several people to steal that.
So she used to have like a fence kind of around her grave, like just it looked like a baby crib, to be honest, like a grown-up crib, and that got stolen many years ago. So that never got replaced, and now we have this. So
Do you want to post pictures of?
no, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Okay,
Sure,
maybe we'll post a
We'll post a
picture.
picture. It's just infuriating. So I remember as a kid, my faint memory is my mom was buried there, and they put some dirt, and then they put like this cement concrete kind of cover on top of it, and then they filled up that part. Everybody put in their flowers and their last goodbyes and everything on top of that, and
Yeah.
and then it was sealed. So they were like saying, when you pass away, you can be buried here. Or your sister, but my sister was like, I already have my spot next door,
So the idea was that you would be buried on top of
right,
your mom.
because I guess they already predicted me not to live long in life also. So that, but of course, as I've grown up and life has gone by, we've, like I said, we've talked about it. And so I've always said, I believe that I was just better off if I just get cremated. So then that subject is this. What's better? What do you guys think? So what's better, to be buried or to be cremated? Which route do you want to go?
Well, I was going to say, and then the main thing is that this topic has come up again because of what happened to your mom's grave. Because
Right.
now we're in the throes of how do we fix this? Because literally right now her grave is a giant hole. It's starting to fill up with trash from the picture that you showed me.
That's true.
And we haven't had time to go down there to inspect it ourselves. So we're just going off the picture and what people have told us. And on that, we don't live in TJ. We don't live near TJ. So it's not like it's easy for us we both work, and
And
then
on top
having
of
the
it-
connections to coordinate, okay,
Right.
who's going to,
What are we going to do?
what are we going
Who
to
we
do with
call?
this? How are we going to fill this? What can we do so that it doesn't happen again?
And at the same time, it's not like we're loaded with money that we can say, well, just do this, and this, and, I can
Yeah.
pay for it. No,
Yeah.
it's going to take some
We
time.
gotta save up for it, especially if you
Yeah.
want to do marble again. But again, do you do marble again? Because we risk the chance of it being stolen again. So we've been in the throes of, is this worth it? Like, I think we even talked about, will your
Well,
sister agree to pulling
It's
her
my
out and
mother, so to
cremating
me,
her?
it's worth it.
No, I know.
that's my
No, I'm
mother.
saying like, because
But-
we even talked about cremating her, like just
Yeah.
pulling her out and cremating
Oh, no,
her.
yes.
And you're like, I want to cremate, and then I have my mom with me, but then at the same time, no one else in your family would agree to that. And at the same time, your mom was a really a very deeply religious Catholic, and that's a big taboo in
Right.
Catholicism.
So and that's part of the subject between being buried or being cremated. What are the reasons? What are the best options, right? And so I mean, yeah, people. It's not just Amazon packages that are not safe out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
So statistically, I was reading that there is definitely an increase of theft when it's a valuable material like marble. And of course, the theft is going to be higher, the probability is going to be higher in places where there is no protection. Like, you don't really hear of that or see it so much in America as you would in another country, where they're, like you said, like your mom is not buried in a protected cemetery. She's buried outside the cemetery gates. I guess it would be considered like a pauper's cemetery is what it would be considered, because it's where the poor people would bury their families. So they didn't steal the marble book that was engraved. They didn't steal the marble
at least they were
cross.
respectful on that one, right?
Well, I think it's because it was engraved.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Like her name, her birthday.
Yeah, they placed it on the side of the
passages in
grave.
it, and they put it on the side of the grave. Yeah.
Yeah, the cross that was engraved, they didn't steal that either. But again, the idea is that this is somebody. When you bury somebody, you don't think that you're going to ever have to think about this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Versus
because
cremating
it's a
somebody.
painful thing and you're going through it. So then I guess my question for you right now is this: Are you pro burying or pro cremation?
Oh, I am definitely pro cremation because I have my grandparents buried in Rose Hills Garden in LA, and their graves are forgotten. Like when we were kids, my dad would take us to visit his dad on a regular basis. I wouldn't say, monthly, maybe and once a year, maybe twice a year. And we would go with cold fried chicken and watermelon and sit on grandpa's grave and have a little picnic. And that was us spending time with my grandfather and, according to my dad, and rolling disrespectfully down the hills because they're all like, kids aren't supposed to be rolling down the hills at the grave, but that's what we would do.
What did you guys drink? Grape soda?
Right, you would think maybe. It is completely possible that we
that
had
is
grape
so
soda.
ghetto. You're talking about fried chicken and
Cold fried chicken,
watermelon,
cold fried chicken. Don't forget, my dad loved cold fried
I know
chicken.
I'm not the only one that thought that, right?
It was delicious. It was good memories.
Oh no, it's delicious.
And now my grandma's buried there.
Yeah,
and we have not been to see her once.
No, man, I have an aunt that's
her,
buried like down the hill from
yeah,
there.
yeah, you have family buried just down the way from where my grandparents are buried. We haven't been to visit them since their burials. And then your mom, I think about your mom's grave, and gosh, exactly, people go to see her Mother's Day and her birthday, if that, right? Like, there's years that you didn't see your mom because you were across the country. And even here in the States, when you didn't have your passport, you couldn't go down to TJ to see her. So, like, our daughters have never been to that gravesite.
Yeah.
So they're just forgotten. And then one of your daughters is buried in Virginia.
Yeah.
And no one's there. No one's in Virginia to see her.
Right.
They're just, how many graves do our listeners have that no one visits, in their families, grandparents, parents, children. And for me, I don't want to be just another forgotten grave. So and in my faith, it's not against, cremation. So I'm okay being cremated. I do not believe that my body will be resurrected and live again. Like, I don't believe that this physical state that I have now will be resurrected.
You won't be a zombie.
I'm going to be a zombie. But there's plenty of people out there who do believe it, right? It's sacrilege to burn a body. And there's a lot of faiths, Muslims, Jews, and not even say all Christians, but Orthodox Catholics especially, don't believe in cremation. It is against their
Hindus,
faith.
right? Did you say Hindus?
No, I said Muslims, Jews, and Orthodox
And Hindus.
Catholicism. Nope, Hindus do.
I thought Hindus
cremate.
were. I have some stats too. I'll read them out a little bit. But So that's your point of view. I'm going to touch on some of those things that you said. So from my point of view, yeah, definitely that's the problem. I agree with it completely about being buried. Like you become a forgotten grave. The only difference is between my mom and your grandparents, my aunt, my daughter, is simply that they might be forgotten graves, but you know the funeral places, they water the grass, they cut the grass, and they clean their tombstones and their plaques and stuff like that.
So they're well taken care of.
So they're taken care of. And it's usually either that, right? Might be a cross, or might be like a big plaque, or or a small plaque on the ground. So it's taken care of. Like they're fine. Like most people don't know that they're not being visited.
Yeah,
because the maintenance, there's a crew there. There's a
Yeah.
maintenance, and there's families that sometimes give a flower to the neighbor,
yeah.
or the maintenance crew know already what little grave section is lonely or nobody could neglect it, so they also sometimes go give them flowers. But when my mom's at, nobody does that. Nobody does that. And so to me, that was an eye opener. That was a lesson. My father called me on it one time when he was like, "Oh, it's why don't you go see your mother," or something like that. And I just gave him a look, and I was like, "Why don't you go see my mother?" Because I don't think my dad's ever been to her grave since the day she was buried. So that was a conflicted conversation between the two of us. And I just let him know I go whenever I can, whenever I feel like I need to talk to her, right? So, but yeah, I always
I'm sorry, but can I interject? Like, isn't there, because your stepmom is buried in TJ2, but she's buried in a protective graveyard,
right, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And something like this is not likely to happen where
No,
she's buried.
no. Like, because like we said, it's gated, and it has security, and they lock it, and good luck getting in. I mean, you're not gonna walk in and out with the stuff, It's not barbed wire.
Yeah.
Like my mom, so you can cut the barbed wire and walk away with the slab, like you said. So it's no biggie. But at the same time, my stepmom and my grandmother are buried together. So
And now your brother is buried.
no, my brother's not buried.
He's
My
not
brother
buried
was
then.
cremated.
Okay.
And my brother was cremated, and they threw his ashes in the ocean.
Now, so why the difference? Because I mean, well, I guess your family wasn't Catholic. Your dad's,
my dad's not.
your
not
stepdad, your
religious.
step family is not Catholic.
My stepdad, I don't have a
Your
stepdad.
step family.
They kind of are, but they kind of not.
They're Christian.
They're weird. Yeah, they're like, my stepmom was like a born again Christian, I think. And so some of my siblings are kind of Christian, and my dad's like no religion at all. I think now that he's getting older, he's become more religious, more in the Catholic way.
And that would have been the faith he was raised in.
Yeah. My grandmother was Catholic, but yeah, no, my father never forced religion. He was really against it. It would anger him. We couldn't talk about religion around him, or none of that.
Why was your brother cremated then?
That was my brother's wish.
That was his desire.
Yeah,
Okay.
he let everybody know that he wanted to be cremated, from what I heard.
And were his ashes put with your stepmom, or
No, I just told you they were scattered in the ocean.
Oh, they were. I'm sorry. I missed
He
that.
had this. They took him to his favorite fishing spot.
Oh, I know he was a fisherman.
Yeah, so
So I know you said that you would want to, that you're against burial, so you would want to be cremated.
I used to want to be buried. I used to want to be buried with my mom. That was one of my things. And you grow up, and like I said, you see that, and you see how graves are forgotten and neglected, and you're like, no way. When my daughter passed away, my plan was to cremate her, and because I planned to come back to California eventually, and I wanted to bring her back with me, and I wanted to bury her with my mom. That way, my mom, if you believe in heaven, she can be in heaven with her grandmother, and they'll be together, and two women that I love dearly, buried together, and I can go see them. It was a big fight between her mom and me, because she didn't believe in cremation, and she believed in being buried, and that was the state and the city that she was born, so she should be buried there. And they had told us that not to bury her because her sister might join her soon, so that we can bury both of them together. We didn't listen to that.
And that was 22 years ago.
Yeah, so we still went ahead and her services because we didn't believe in just having her in a refrigerator waiting for her sister, you know. But the fight existed. The fight existed about that decision. We didn't agree on it. It was a tough one because I knew it was you know when a relationship's not gonna last, it's not gonna work. So there was times when we both thought like we were like I was being sincere and honest. Yeah, I was like, this is not gonna last a long time. We're gonna go our separate ways, and what's gonna happen to her? You know, she's gonna be left behind because I'm gonna go back to California, and when am I gonna get a chance to come back? And I know she will go back to California in a heartbeat, and when is she gonna come back? And lo and behold, it all happened. You know, within a year, we were our own ways, and everybody's back in California, and I have not had a chance to go back. And I feel bad, and I feel horrible, and I knew it because I broke down the last time before I left. I broke down in her grave because I already knew that it was going to be a long time before I went back, and I actually feel like shit because it's been longer than I thought. I thought I would have been back maybe a year or two, or maybe 5 years ago, for my prediction, but no. So that's what hurts me, that she's all the way over there by herself, you know. Yeah.
Do you want to say where she's at?
Like Charlottesville, Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's buried in Charlottesville, Virginia, and and who knows what the town looks like now.
And for a while, she had an unmarked grave, right?
So she used to have like a little metal plate, but they got rid of that stuff, and they were asking for she didn't have a grave, and
Stone.
a headstone, but now she does. So somebody paid for it. Some good Samaritan out there with a big heart. I don't know who they are, but I love them, and they did that. So sorry, I'm getting a little emotional there. But it sucks. It sucks. She's so far away. But I guess one day I'll go back to Virginia and I'll go see her. And
But there's been even, like, you've told me that you'd like to have her taken out and cremated and bring her to California even now.
Right. But then sometimes I think that she's been there so long now that she's just fine like that. And
which is the same idea with your mom.
Yeah. And then there's those times when like with my daughter, I just feel whenever I can, I just talk to her, and that's it. I'll look up at the sky and I'll have a conversation with a star, and then it's like I'm talking to her. But my mother, I mean, she was loved by a lot of people, and it's shown her family. Like I said, they always come and visit her. My Nona, every time she was in town, even in a wheelchair, it's a dirt road, and she found a way to go see her and take her flowers and sing her a song. And my mom was loved by many. My father was a little selfish. He made her stay here, be buried close to us, which I understand because we were her immediate family, or daughter, grandsons, because there was two at the time, and myself, and even him. We were living in GG at the time, so she should have been with us. We were her family.
Yeah, but she would have wanted to be buried
in her homeland,
in her
hometown, and her home state, which was Sinaloa, and then she would have been, worshipped like crazy over there. People would have remembered her all the time. Yeah. It's a poor family, so it's not that far to walk over there and take her flowers. But yeah, I would have loved to have had her cremated. I don't believe in the whole forgotten graves, because eventually, those people that remember you pass away, and then you end up being a forgotten grave. Or even when they're here now, they forget about you. My stepmom wanted to be cremated. She told me plenty of times. She was like, I don't want to be a forgotten grave. Like, my kids say they love me. You say you love me, but when are you guys going to come see me? Nobody's ever going to come see me. Eventually, I'm just going to become a forgotten grave. Like, what's the whole point of crying over me and taking me flowers?
But they didn't cremate her.
Yeah, when you guys didn't even do it when I was alive, that was she was very blunt and very straight like that. And I get it. I think I got some of that stuff from her, and that's that. So, as I've grown up and I believe stuff and I learned stuff, I actually, I was like, if you know me, you know that I love Viking stuff and Norse stuff, and I was like, when I saw a Viking funeral, I was like, oh my God, that's what I want. I die, put me in a little boat and freaking throw me in the ocean and burn me and let my ashes fall down there or whatever. But now, obviously, you can't do that. It's illegal.
So we heard.
So I've, I see some of the cool stuff people do with the ashes, like, yeah, burn me up and collect my ashes and, I don't know, throw me up in a mountain or throw me in the ocean, things that I like. Or, now they have this thing where you press it and make a diamond. You can do that. Or, I always make jokes about make me into a little hourglass and put my grandchildren in timeout and use me and be like, you there until pop says time's up, and or game board night,
Considering we have 4
Pictionary.
children, we're gonna have to divide you 4 ways.
Yeah, Pictionary. They can do a big one, that they can spread me around. I don't think they'll have kids at the same time. They're 4-year gaps.
The kids told us they were gonna put us together so that we could never be apart.
Oh my goodness! And you were upset. You're like, no, this is my only chance to be away from him now.
Yeah, that was our currently 13-year-old. He's like, no, you
hilarious.
guys can't ever be apart. We're gonna put your ashes together.
Yeah.
And so on my side, on my dad's side of the family, everyone's buried and forgotten in one way or another. I mean, not forgotten in our minds, just like physically, no one makes the trek to go see them, see their graves. And then on my mom's side of the family, well, I really only had my grandfather and my grandmother. My grandfather passed away in Peru, and he is buried, I guess, in some type of little tomb they made for him over there. I believe he's buried. I don't remember, actually, or if I'm pretty sure he's buried. And all I know is that there was, like, a problem because the gate was broken or someone broke his gate, and when my mom went down there they had to fix it, and neither my mom nor my aunt were even there for the burial because it happened all so fast, from the moment he passed away. And then their stepsister, commissioned everything. I don't remember. I think my mom paid for it from here, but they didn't have time to get down there. And so he's buried, and I mean, none of us are going to be able to see him. But my mother's mother was cremated.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was there. I saw her for the last time in her box before they cremated her. And I mean, a little creepy. Maybe creepy that I wanted to see her, but I mean, that was my grandma. I loved her to death, and I found it kind of interesting. I know maybe that's that weirdo side of me. Just found it interesting.
Well, yeah, you never seen it done. Yeah,
peacefully resting in her box, because I know her spirit wasn't there. It's just a body. And then she went into the fire, and the next time we saw her, she was in an urn at my aunt's house. And that's where she's at. She's with my aunt. And so they didn't even split her up. So my mom didn't even get a piece of her. So she's just there. And I mean, again, no one's really visiting her. Like, we're not going to go visit her. But she's always with family because she's always with my aunt. My only issue with cremation is this, though. Maybe it's because, we hear horror stories, but is it really my grandma in there? And maybe that's like a concern people genuinely have.
Yeah, but that's why you pay what you pay for. Like that's why there's all this investigation and this honoring of it, right? Like, so everybody's known about, there's a special even on HBO about the guy that he made a whole bunch of money.
The serial killer guy.
No, not serial killer, but he just stacked a whole bunch of bodies and cremated them together to save time and money. And then he would just collect ashes enough, and he would do it for dirt cheap. And so you get what you pay for. Some people were getting other people's ashes or mixed ashes, and it was a big deal, and he got busted. And this is all 80s, 90s. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that always like, oh no, what if I'm getting cremated and I wake up and I'm getting burned alive. That's one thing I used to hear a lot as a kid, but I'm like, you were dead and they did an autopsy and they gutted you and cut you open already. Like, there's nothing to worry about. Like, if you didn't wake up during that, you're not gonna wake up when you when you're getting cremated.
Yeah,
You know.
right. Oh, the guy's name was David Sconce.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that,
from
yeah.
the
There's a
Lamb
cool kind of special. I think it was
about
on
him.
HBO Max, right? That we saw.
I don't remember. It's called about Lamb Funerals out of Pasadena.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, last funerals. That's right. He
yeah.
came from a family of.
And so it wasn't
It
them.
was a
It was
prestigious mortuary before
prestigious. Yeah.
this guy took over. So
Yeah, he was like the son-in-law or the son or something like that. Anyways, he messed it all
grandson,
up. The grandson.
yeah.
Well, he went and messed it all up, but he was like a mass
Okay, so I'm just gonna throw
cremator.
a quick stat. So right now in the United States, on average, it's 61.9 people get percent of the population that in a year get cremated, and 33.2% of people go with getting buried.
So I was reading that statistically, they're thinking that in the next few years, that's going to be a difference of like 84%.
Yeah, 80. I have stats that says 20 by 2045 they're expecting 82.1% of all people globally will get cremated. It says cremations rates vary greatly by country. Japan has one of the highest cremations rates in the world at 99.97%.
Yeah.
Taiwan follows closely behind with 96.76%. Other countries with high cremation rates include Hong Kong, South Korea, Switzerland, and Sweden. And it says, in contrast, Greece has a cremation rate below of 1%. So in Greece, they really don't believe in cremation.
Well, I was reading a statistic about Greece in particular saying that they used to be, because they're Orthodox,
right?
One of the Orthodox Christian or Catholics.
So that was my next stat here.
But the reason was that now they've like reversed, because like cremation was banned, that they've started reversing that because there's no room anymore in the cemeteries.
So that's one of the things I was going to hit eventually. So real quick, go back to my little quick notes here. I have one that says burial rates are generally higher in countries with strong religious traditions that favor burial. For example, Ireland buries 82% of its dead. Italy has a 77% burial rate. And the factors influencing cremation and burial choices globally include cultural and religious beliefs, right? So Hinduism and Buddhism favor cremation.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling you.
No, you said they favor burial.
Okay. Well, I thought I said cremation. Oh, yeah, maybe.
We were talking.
So Hinduism and Buddhism.
Because I was talking cremation. About the ones that don't let you cremate.
Islam, Orthodox Judaism prohibit that. And the environmental concern for it is growing awareness about environmental impact of traditional burials has led some to choose cremation. And cost and convenience, of course, cremation is better and cheaper.
Yeah, it's less expensive currently, but who knows? I mean, those with, I don't know, like the more people want to be cremated, the more likely it could be expensive,
Yeah, so the main thing is, like you said, there's no space. There's no more land.
Yeah, and so I do have some family in TJ who are like big time Catholic. My Tiamparo, she was cremated, and she was a big time Orthodox Catholic, and they cremated her because there was no money for her.
Yeah,
for her burial site,
right.
And she's just placed. I think,
but her son wanted her with them still. Like he was so used to having her.
Well, no, she's in the, I guess within the church.
Oh,
like
yeah,
on
that's
the
right.
side of
on
the church.
That's right. They have their own little burial.
Yeah,
thing.
there's like pockets where they have the urns.
Yeah,
of people who have been cremated. Right. So their ashes don't go with the family; they stay at the church.
At the church, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's a thing.
Yeah. So it is definitely, cremation is much more popular. We've told our kids we want to be cremated.
My only problem with cremation is this one, right? So I always make this joke also. I was like, I'm going to end up alone in this world, and I'm going to get cremated, and then one day my ashes are going to end up on some Salvation Army that nobody's going to know what the hell that, how the hell did I get there? Mm-hmm. Because I've read it's happened to a lot of old veterans, that somebody just sees an urn and is like, how is that here? Probably they were in some house and, they lost it, or somebody sold it and their ashes were left behind. And, you know how people just buy a house that's furnished and they grab everything and just go dump it in donation, and there goes the ashes, there goes the urn, and somebody does a Google search or something on the name, and they're like, oh my goodness, this is a war veteran, or they served this, they get everything, and they're like, have to call the VA to give them a proper burial now.
And will the VA do that?
After that, yeah, sometimes they take them or they do a service, but you know, and then there's those times when people don't want the ashes, you know, like, but so what do you do with like that? So either way, like, you might be an inconvenience or you might not be wanted
at some
forgotten.
point, right?
Yeah,
at some point. But the
so
thing
then,
is,
I guess it makes sense to scatter the ashes after that. I mean, is it bad for the environment to scatter ashes?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, the idea is we come from the earth, right? In the book Brave New World, right? This old book that I had to read in high school, the bodies are cremated and like the ashes are spewed into the air and used as fertilizer. Like it is the human remains are what keeps everything green and fertile. So, I mean, I don't understand. Like, people are environmental this or environmental studies, and
well, I think they say more now that burying a body is more damaging to the environment.
Well, think about all the stuff that goes down in the ground with you, right?
Yeah.
You're going down in a box that is full of lacquer and paint and copper, different types of metals, and the polyester of the cushions, and you know, all these different chemicals that are in just the coffin, you know, plus your clothing. Because I know in Islam they bury people straight in the ground, no box. I think they cover them in a shroud and then they put them straight into the ground. And there are some cemeteries in LA that I'm aware of that allow this. There's like a section of the cemetery at Rose Hills that allows those type of burials, straight in the ground, no box. And the idea is that you're going to go back into the earth more holy, you know, like you're going to be. I don't know the nuances of why you can't be cremated.
I mean, that might be what they say, but how do you know that they don't like dig up the hole again and throw some chemicals or something, or put them in some kind of box in there?
We don't,
because
no, there's no box. There's no room for box. Like the bodies are buried also close together. There's no room for boxes.
Who knows? Could be a cardboard box, but it's something with something in it.
I mean, cardboard is still probably better than,
but you know what I mean?
A giant box.
That's another thing. Is like, especially in a state like California where everything causes cancer. Right. They would be like, oh, you can't just put a body like that.
Well, like I said, this is certain sections of certain cemeteries that will allow. Not every cemetery allows it.
I don't know.
And
but that's the thing, though. Like, but then at the same time, I'm like, I know I've said, like, just cremate me, and if you guys, like, just bury me in the backyard. Like, get my ashes and bury them in the backyard.
Yeah, but then they sell the house, and your ashes are just there.
And I'll be hanging around my house. Like,
you'll be haunting the house.
I'll be hanging around my house. Like, just give me a little plaque in there. Say my house. It's my backyard. Like.
Yeah, that makes it hard to sell. Maybe people just like dig you out or whatever.
Great, because you're not supposed to sell it. Like somebody's gonna be stuck here forever, and I'm gonna be here with them.
You know that won't happen. Well, I mean, that's where the whole idea of just spread my ashes and
give it to my grandchildren.
Let me go back to the earth.
My grandkids don't care. They're like, it's just ashes.
We also said that we should go into like little vials, and then the kids can each carry us with them.
Yeah, you know what? I just don't think I want to be spread around. I think I would just do it all together. Don't see like, oh, you get a portion, you get a portion. Like, oh,
but
what do I have? My dad's arm?
Like where
what do I have? My dad's head?
Where do you want to go? Like, where would you want the kids to spread your ashes?
Nowhere. Just leave me in my urn.
Leave you in your urn?
Yeah, leave me
for you to be forgotten at some point?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter because it's just the ashes. Like the soul is gone.
Yeah, right? I know. Well, I would want my ashes spread anywhere on my favorite mountain or near a lake. So Lake Arrowhead or Big Bear, spread my ashes. That's what I want.
I guess in a way, like if I get cremated, then it doesn't matter.
Oh, I know. They can pour my ashes off of the old cliffhanger. I'll be happy.
Cliffhanger.
That restaurant, the old cliffhanger restaurant, going up to Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah.
That used to be my spot to go sit and just think and even when the place was abandoned and shut up and stuff, I loved going up there, just the view from up there. And I think the kids can just go dump my ashes off the edge of that cliff and I'll be good. Yeah.
You'll be good wherever they throw you because you really won't know.
I mean, that's true.
You're already dead.
You're right. But I could haunt them and be mean about it.
No, you won't. Your spirit's gone. It was
no.
Your spirit's
my spirit doesn't have to pass. If they don't do what I say, I'm going to haunt them.
No. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. You won't be around? Or are you going to be haunting them too?
No, I'm done. I'm out of here. I put up with them long enough. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Send me back to wherever I'm going.
That brings up another idea. You know how when people, like when there's like a crash site and then people put like the crosses and the flowers at like a crash site.
Right.
Because they believe that the spirit of the person's going to haunt.
Right there? Yeah.
Yeah, that spot.
Well, that's where I left the body, right?
Well, yeah. So what's the point of burying him then?
Yeah, it's just the shell.
Right? You're burying the shell, but then you're also thinking that
I guess it just goes into whatever your religious belief is.
Well, because I mean, usually the people who are doing this are Catholic, usually, right? So this is a question.
I don't know. I don't know.
Question. Like,
if they were Catholics, I mean, then they will go to the hospital where their loved one died every time and put a cross there.
But why? That's my question. Is why the side of the road? Like, why do they? If you're gonna bury the body,
I guess that's more like to let people know that that's where they lost a loved one.
But I had heard that it's because the spirit wanders and they don't want the spirit to... Something about the spirit... I haven't looked into it lately, but I remember like a long time ago, the reason they put up the crosses is so that the spirit won't wander.
So they know that they're dead?
Maybe.
So they see that. So
maybe if somebody knows the reason for this, let us know. Like, I haven't really researched this. So... Anyways, it's just a question.
Well, put yourself on a parent spot. If your son gets shot or hit by a car or something on the corner, or do you want to put something? You want to put a candle there or something?
I wouldn't, because I don't believe in that. Like, it's not in my belief structure. Like,
but wouldn't you want to put like a warning, like let people know, like, look, my kid was playing here and somebody hit him. Like, be careful, slow down. You took my kid. No. So you will be okay if it happened to another family?
I don't think it stops people from.
So you will be okay. Yeah, but I never know. Like I know right now where I drive all the time, there was an accident that happened. I got there a little late, but it was already shut down, and I know that I was like, man, a group of people died here. I read it on the paper and everything, or on the internet, I guess, and I'm like, oh, that sucks, that spot, like right there. And now I know exactly, and I know exactly the spot now because that's there. And you're like, oh yeah, somebody died right there. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think that it's a deterrent for people to slow down.
For me, it did.
Or stop speeding.
For me, it did.
Okay, well,
my self-conscious was like, I need to slow down in this area.
That cross on that they have there actually says slow down.
Yeah.
There's like a little thing one time because there's so much traffic on that piece of road that I was stopped and I was like reading it, and it does say, please drive carefully or slow down or something like that. Okay,
well, maybe if it were for me, like it makes me think about slowing down when I'm going around there, then maybe it served this purpose.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm one person.
Maybe. I mean, because I've heard that the belief was that they don't want the spirit to wander.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to tell you on that one.
Yeah, I don't. I know personally, I would not put a cross in that spot, and that's where you and I differ. Because
first of all, why would you put a cross? That's not your religion.
I know, but I wouldn't put anything. Like, there's so many places people have died, and there's no information.
So then, are you offended whenever I light a candle for my mother?
No.
Why?
Because you're doing it in the house out of memory.
Yeah, but it's no different.
This is on the side of a road.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. If I want to remember my mom on her birthday or on Mother's Day the same day, and I put it on a candle, it's no different than those people that do that too. Because it's not always a cross. There's people that put candles or take flowers there.
The majority of them are crosses.
I see.
They put crosses and candles. Again, this is something we're not going to agree on because
no. I'm asking you a question. I'm not trying to argue with you.
That I wouldn't do it, and I don't believe in it.
I'm just asking you, so what's the difference between that one and the other one?
It's very different because that's always on the road. Like they put that cross and those candles and the flowers on the side of the road. That's always there. Like I remember the last neighborhood we lived in, there had been an accident. Someone had lost their kid on one of the corners. And I remember the day that family was selling their house, the mom, like a year later, they were selling their house and the mom was sitting on the corner crying because they were leaving. And the cross and the flowers were finally taken down because they were leaving.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Eventually, we're talking about graves being forgotten. Like these are gonna be forgotten eventually.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, but
like
there's some places in the world where there's always.
Well, I don't give a damn about those other places in the world. It doesn't affect me.
About
no,
that.
yeah,
It's
but
not a matter of not giving a
no,
damn.
but it's like
we're talking about the relevance of it.
But it's eventually they're gonna forget about it. Like people are gonna stop. Maybe they'll do it on their birthdays again. Maybe they'll do it on for whatever X reason. We really don't know why they do it, right? Like we were saying, you heard that it's because they think the spirit is there and they need to know that they're dead.
No, it's just so it doesn't wander.
But I mean, if it's there, it's stuck there, right? So where's it gonna wander to?
To people's cars, like the whole ghost stories.
So evil spirits.
Like, well, no, they become like that. Not the La Llorona, the one
the hitchhiker.
The hitchhiker's ghosts.
But it always goes back to the same spot.
Yeah. I'm just saying. These are stories I've heard.
Yeah, but again, that's a belief, right? So if you want to believe that the spirits are going to wander, then you do that.
I'm not saying I believe that.
I'm not saying you. I'm just generally saying it.
Okay.
I'm just generally saying if you believe that the spirit is going to wander, then and you want to put a cross there, and that's their beliefs, right? That's
but
what
my
they believe.
question was, how do you believe that and still bury their body?
It's no different than just because they're putting that there. I don't see a difference between you dying in a hospital and then burying the body.
Okay. But you're not putting a cross at the hospital for my spirit to not wander at the hospital. You're just burying me.
That's true.
That's what I'm talking about. So you can crash and die suddenly on the side of a road.
Maybe it's like that movie we watched with that girl dies, and then she's there and seeing everybody at her burial and everything, but then her ghost eventually goes back to her room.
Okay.
Maybe, but she gets
there?
to So maybe when they're burying the body,
but then she's not stuck there.
But maybe when they're burying the body, like the spirit gets to be there. I don't know. I mean, whatever people want to believe, or whatever their fate, their heart tells them.
Yeah, I don't know.
The body needs to be put to rest.
So it can be resurrected later.
So then that's why they're doing it. So this is where the soul left the body, and now we're putting the body to rest here. And hopefully the soul or the spirit will come see the body and pass through. If I had to give you an answer, there it is.
Well, because the body's only
guess would be
the body's only being buried because the idea is that it will be resurrected.
For some people, yes.
Well, that's usually most of
some people,
of the faiths. That's why they bury.
Yeah, some people. Yeah, there you go. So they think they're gonna come back. Yeah, they think that one day they'll be resurrected,
but their spirit might be stuck where they died.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
If people didn't think that, then scary movies and all that other stuff would not be successful. So.
I guess not.
Or podcasts or scary stories and ghost stories. Exorcisms wouldn't be a thing.
Okay, so ultimately, we're against burial.
Yeah, no, it's not that we're against it.
I mean, for us.
For us.
Our choice.
For us, yeah, for me.
For our children.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Let's say our kids. So what if one of our kids tells us, I want to be buried?
That's their choice.
And then we're going to bury them. Now, what about all those people out there who say they want to be buried and or cremated, and their families do the opposite because the family doesn't believe in it?
That's their conscience. That's their choice.
And then that's when you go and haunt them because they didn't do what you wanted them to do.
My dad sleeps very well every night, and so do my siblings, and I don't think that happens.
Because your stepmom's not haunting them?
Yeah.
I don't think she cared.
Yeah, I think she's just like, I'm done. Cool.
There's people who who say if you don't do what I say, you're gonna. I tell my kids that.
Well, those
If
are
you
just
don't
people that
do
are
what I
bitter
want,
and angry and
you
want to
better.
continue making people's lives
You better.
miserable. You know, even
Well,
when they
hopefully,
die.
we taught our kids that they just need to cremate us and not have to pay for a burial plot.
I find it funny that some people they say I never own land, but they're gonna own land when they're dead. You know.
I guess so. I mean,
And then
do
eventually,
they
with
really
time,
own
you
it?
know, somebody's gonna sell the land or the property, or somebody's
There's
gonna come
been,
in and they're gonna dig up and they're gonna find bodies. And
like, if you listen to a bunch of historical stuff, especially overseas in Europe, floods and hills full of rain, where it's like torrential rain, where the
we have
bodies.
that here, yeah,
I
and it
mean,
happens. It's happened
where
in
yeah, where
Texas. It's
the
happened in New
coffins.
Orleans. Yeah, it happened in New Orleans big time.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot because of all the flooding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the body gets displaced, right? The body isn't resting. Yet another reason to not do it. But then people go and have them reburied. Because I remember there
Yeah,
was.
but how do you know you're getting your family member?
Exactly. You don't know. Especially if it's like centuries. Like, let's say it's been at least 100 years, right? How do you know?
Yeah, what's left? Yeah.
What's
Also,
like.
because eventually, like, isn't that what they always say? Like, bones eventually turn to dust, right?
Yeah.
So your bones will become so fragile that just, I mean, that's why, like, when, they're looking at excavations and stuff like that, when they're digging for old bones, they're very fragile with them because they don't want them just to fall apart.
Yeah, because they'll just, and depending on the weather
so
too.
I imagine that will also
the
happen
climate.
to ours. So if an old family member of ours has been buried forever, eventually everything deteriorates.
Oh, I guess that circles back to your mom's grave, right? So
Yeah.
it wouldn't make sense
My dad,
to move her.
My dad unburied my grandma. I don't know if he cremated her or he put her back in a new coffin. But like he wanted to fix up that plot and everything. So I guess that would be a good question to ask him. But my mom, I mean, yeah, I complicated. I contemplated it. Sorry, contemplated like this happened and maybe we'll just have to dig her out and cremate her and I don't know, take her to Sinaloa and put her with the rest of her family.
But the other thing you were saying is just fill in the hole with cement.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah.
Just fill it in, and because you're saying you're not planning to be buried there, and
unless I get cremated, maybe they can bury my ashes there. If let's say I end up being alone, let's say for some reason maybe you and me get divorced and we go our separate ways.
You will never be alone, and you'll find somebody else.
No,
the kids will always be around. They'll never let you.
No, I think I've seen enough to know that children never stick around. They have to go out on their own and create their own families.
Yeah. But you think our kids would actually leave you alone?
Yeah.
Our 13-year-old? No.
Yeah.
He'll never leave
you
alone.
No, yeah, he will. Once he's old enough.
No.
Yeah.
He's already told me that if we ever got divorced, he's choosing you. So.
It's cute, but deep down inside, I know how much he loves you. So.
Anyways, that's how we're talking. We're talking about if we die. So.
No, when we die.
When we die. So.
So yeah. That was an interesting conversation.
But our dilemma is your mom's grave.
The dilemma is that from my experience, it's not working and buried, especially if you're out of state and
out of country,
and eventually, like I said, like look, my case, right? My mother had me, and she passed away when I guess I was doing the math the other day. I just turned 7. I always thought I was 6, but technically I was 7, and she matters the world to me. I love her. She means the world to me. And I see her in a certain light, and she's my mom. She's my mom. And so, but to my kids, it's just like, oh yeah, it's my dad's mom. Like
because they never knew her.
They never knew her. They never knew anything. So to them, they'll love her for the fact of she gave us our dad, but they didn't know her. So I'm pretty sure if we even went or whatever, not, and one day I'm no longer here and I go away, they're not gonna continue going to go see technically someone that
They
no.
never knew in life.
And let's say that out of the love and respect for their dad, they'll be like, well, dad always did this, so we're going to keep that alive. Because in a way, we're still with dad, right? So let's do this. And they'll go. But then my grandchildren won't. Right?
Necessarily, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the end. That's the end of the cycle.
Yeah.
No more.
Oh, it's like my grandparents.
Yeah, it's going to be forgotten. That's it. It's done.
Yeah.
Like, so then it becomes forgotten. It's like what was it? Book of Life, the land of the forgotten.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's
pretty much what happens, right? That's what happens to the graveside, and
all those souls go to the land of the forgotten.
yeah, and or what was it? Also, yeah, it was Book of Life, right? Book of Life. I was thinking.
Oh,
Coco,
they also on Coco. They also
right?
talk about it. Yeah.
So. Do I want to be like that? Like, no, we all want to be remembered. But I guess in a way, when you're at a grave and you have a name and everything and date, you like somebody's gonna read it. Oh, look, there's I guess some people will think about it like, there's my mark that I existed in this world. Because when you're cremated, that's it.
Yeah.
There's no landmark saying that you existed.
No.
Well, your children, your bloodline.
Again,
but what if you're one of those people that don't have children?
I mean, that was your choice in life, right? So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You, my mind is like thinking so many crazy things. So.
Well, again, because you can be buried and either remembered or forgotten.
Just get it out the way, right? Yeah. Just fucking do it now. Cremate me, throw my ashes, and just remember me. And
yeah, your memory is just in your head, not.
I mean, that is physical. One thing I tell our kids when, because they miss their great grandmothers. They had the privilege of meeting them, and our daughter, who is 9 years old now.
She's 9, yeah.
She gets her moments when she gets sad and she remembers them, and she's like, she says, I wish she wouldn't have passed away. Even our little one says,
for her, it was my dad's mom.
Yeah, and it's like my grandma. But the one thing that I'm sorry, I'm afraid to lose my train of thought. But the one thing I tell them all the time is like, well, they're dead, but they're not really dead, because a part of them always lives inside of you, and as long as you remember them and you continue to live, they will always live on forever. They live inside of you, and
it's called DNA.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly it. But I can't.
Their memory,
for kids,
their spirit,
say it in a nice, pretty way, right? Yeah. And it's true.
But it's their memory, because they also have memories with them, right?
Yeah, and the logic works, right? So, and I told them one day I'm gonna die, but don't cry, because I'm always gonna live inside of you, and my love is always gonna be inside of you. And you're gonna pass that on to your kids, and that's how I'm gonna continue to be alive, because it's gonna go from family member to family member.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So I won't be really forgotten, and there's the mark that we existed. It's our children.
So I guess of our listeners, how many of you plan to be cremated, and how many of you plan to be buried? How many of you plan to be buried? And I think I'm going to put a stat on about this.
Sure.
And we'll let you guys know next time what the response was, since I didn't think to do that before I recorded this.
So now we know that my wife wants to be cremated, and her ashes need to be scattered over around that spot on
either
the way
Lake Arrowhead or Big Bear.
Or she's going to come back and haunt us. So in a way, if she does it for me, maybe I won't do that. That way she'll still come and visit me. And
I'm sure I'll still haunt you either way.
Nah, doubt it. You'll be like, finally, I'm free of this fast. I'm free of this journey.
No, I have to come collect you at some point.
Oh, no. Can you just send my mom? Send somebody else. Send one of my dogs. Send all my dogs.
Send all your dogs for you.
Man.
We could talk about afterlife next time.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. I was gonna go somewhere with the whole. So when you pass away, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get cremated, and we'll do that. And then when I die, I guess I'm getting cremated too, and whatever is the best choice.
Unless you change your mind by then.
No. I want to be. I want to be cremated. I want to be cremated.
Yeah.
There's so many options though out there. Be an hourglass, and be a diamond, or just be some ashes. Too bad we don't own the rights for the song, but right now we'll be playing some sad acoustic guitar. You're my boy, Blue.
Well, and how does the song go? It says, we're all dust in the wind. That's right. We are all just dust in the wind.
Yeah. So, but interesting. We have a lot of things to say and think. That was cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for listening and playing along with me.
I said playing. I mean, it's a topic we've talked about before. And again,
it's a sad thing. It's just like you said, we talk about it.
We make light of it. I think
we throw it out there. Yeah. But I think this situation kind of really made us sad, angry, frustrated, and it made us think about it a little bit more than.
Yeah. And the fact that, we're respecting the wishes of those who have already departed, right? Mm-hmm. Because your mother's wish was to be buried, not cremated. And again, going back to her faith, your family, your mother's side of the family is very Catholic, and none of them would probably be okay with cremation, right? Yeah. Because even your aunt or your cousin, she was buried, right? Did they cremate her?
No, she was buried.
She was buried in Sinaloa, right?
Yeah, she was buried in Sinaloa.
And she just died a couple years ago. Yeah, which is what your mother would have wanted, but that didn't happen for her.
Yeah.
So.
And right now you're talking about cremation. I'm like, well, so what? It's just my mother, not theirs. I made her
You
decision.
should make the choice. Yeah, that's true. But you still have a sister, and your sister might not be okay with it.
Yeah, that's not her problem.
If you're the one paying for it. See, and this opens another topic of conversation of like.
No, I obviously I wouldn't do my sister like that. That's not cool. She has to say so. It's just as much as I do. It's 50-50.
But I mean, there are people who are like, I'm the one paying for it. You have no say. So, I'm going to disinter them and
or somebody might. I was her favorite, or I'm the baby.
I'm the number one child. Yeah. I get to choose what happens to her.
Yeah.
Because especially if it's not in the last will and testament, right?
And that's the thing, though. Yeah, some of us plan to live for a long time, and we don't.
You don't think about
cross
that.
Our T's and dot our I's.
Doesn't your dad have like a will that changes every year?
Every
6 months.
At least I want to say, I want to be nice every 5 years.
It changes.
Yeah.
So something your mom didn't have, so we don't know what she really wanted.
We barely even have food. How are you gonna expect to have a will testament?
We don't even have a last will and testament. I think we've written a letter.
Well, this is part of it right now. Like it's on record, and it's gonna go out on the internet, so it exists. There's proof
that we want to be cremated.
Yeah,
I've said where I'd like my ashes, and of course, this is where I want my ashes currently because that's my home. I grew up.
Your home's right here with me and your kids, woman. This is your home.
Yes, but we're still in California. But matter. I grew up, at the base of Lake Arrowhead, and
give a damn. You've been with me longer than where you grew up. Okay.
I mean, no.
I tell you where you're gonna be buried. No. I tell you where you're gonna be
almost the same amount of time. But why do you want it? You want to keep my ashes now? So I'm dying before him. So according to you, I'm dying before you.
No, but you never know.
And so you're going to keep my ashes?
Why wouldn't I?
I don't know. You want me to haunt you then?
I don't want to be by myself.
You won't be. You'll have the kids.
They're going to leave.
They're not going to leave.
They're going to leave.
If I died before you, one of them will stay with you.
They're going to leave.
No, one of them will stay with you to take care of you.
They're going to leave.
Because you're going to drive them crazy?
That's what I do. Everybody leaves eventually. I drive everybody crazy.
Yes, you do drive
the fact crazy. That you're still here?
Some days. Vice versa. I know. You feel the same way.
Hilarious.
Anyways,
whatever.
Thank you for listening and joining us on this random, sad, weird conversation about burial or cremation.
And join us for the next episode when we talk about.
I don't know. Possibly.
You say we were going to talk about ghosts and afterlife.
The afterlife.
Yeah. The afterlife.
Thank you again. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.